when it comes to prospecting, end of the year stuff, the worst thing that's going to happen is, somebody doesn't have something and you end up getting an opportunity for 2025. Best case scenario that happens is you get a project for 2024 that you can deliver on them, deliver for them and get it done quickly. And then you get the shot at all the 2025 work. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sell the Truth. I'm your host, Eli Stoehr, and man, I'm just happy that you guys are here and tuning in. This episode is going to be a short and quick one. Just going to be me this episode, and we're going to be talking about end of the year projects, and specifically as a salesperson, how do you approach the end of the year, right? How do you approach it when you've got a million things on your plate? Salespeople, specifically in the construction industry, you got to work on projects that are going right now. You're wrapping up projects. You have maybe issues on projects that you have to take care of. You're working on prospecting for next year, or maybe even to finish out the end of the year here. You got follow-ups. You got pipeline cleanup. We're starting to think about even getting gifts for clients and putting those lists together. So there's just a lot on salespeople's plates this time of the year. So we're going to dive into that from just a high level. I'm going to give you a handful of actionable items that you can take, just some reminders, some things that oftentimes salespeople forget about this time of the year, that will make sure that you're going to finish out the year strong. So the first thing I want to say is, listen, if you've been a salesperson this entire year, you've started off the year strong. Maybe you've grinded it out for 6 months, 7 months, 9 months. Right now, if you started at the first of the year, and right now we're in late October, so you've been grinding it out for almost 11 months, 10 months, almost 11 months, and at the end of the day, man, if you're at the 15-yard line and you're right there, like that's really how I feel right now. We're really close. We are almost to the end zone, and at the end of the day, we don't want to settle for a field goal. So it's that last minute push. You've already done the work. You've already come this far. Now we just got to focus on the rest of the stuff that finishes out the year strong. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Again, going to give you a couple of actionable items, and we're going to take it from there. So, first things first, you've got multiple projects to close. You've got a pipeline to follow up on. That's your first reminder and your first actionable step as a salesperson, specifically in the construction industry. I want to talk about follow-ups. So again, you've done all the work, you've bid all the projects, you've put all the effort in to get the opportunities. Super simple thing to do, man. Super simple thing that people just forget about, right? People always forget about going back and following up on old projects. And I tell our sales team this all the time. And it's a good reminder for me, honestly, to go back, look at your pipeline, look at the projects that you've bid on. Maybe you've even lost projects that are still open, etc. And I always tell people, like, the worst thing that can happen is either it's a no, meaning that project's already been completed by somebody or it's not going to go, or it could be a, hey, listen, we're not doing this project this year, but let's circle back in 2025 or next year, right, for that matter. And when you do that, it's still a great scenario, and that's the worst case scenario. So that's the first thing. Just make sure you're following up on projects. This is really just a reminder, honestly. I mean, salespeople know to do this. They know to follow up on projects, but it's one of those things that you forget about often. I forget about it often. And by doing so, you're going to find those last minute deals. You're going to find those deals that are going to push you from here to the end of the year. Clients this time of the year, especially in the construction industry, are looking for year-end solutions and budgets to be spent. So don't forget about the follow-up. The follow-up is very important. And I'm not just saying follow-up when it comes to proposals. I'm saying follow-up when it comes to all your existing clients as well, or maybe folks you've just talked to and maybe even haven't had a chance or an opportunity yet. Follow up with those people. It is very important. Do not neglect that. A couple other things I want to talk about here. Managing the existing projects versus the new opportunities. As you get the new opportunities in, as you are prospecting, that's kind of the second piece that I want to talk about is the prospecting. But as you're getting the new projects in, it is very important that you are clear with the clients as far as what we can do, what you can do, the expectations. If somebody's expecting for you to get something in by the end of the year and it's not possible, you have to be honest with them. You have to be clear with them, and hope that they're clear with you too when it comes to communicating that with you as far as what they're looking for. It's your job to ask for that. Swing man, what's happening? The man behind the camera. Swim Man's in here getting a quick shot. Appreciate your Swim Man. Appreciate everything that the media team does for this show and all the other shows that you guys put together. Just had to throw that in there real quick. Next thing I want to talk about, though, is so how do you actually manage all of this stuff, right? I tell my sales team this all the time: time block, time block, time block. They probably get sick of me talking about it, but use your calendar. Physically use your calendar. Block out the time so that you have, time focused on every single task that you need to get done, whether that's prospecting time block. I always tell people if you can get 30 minutes in a day at least, and it's just consistent, consistency is what wins. So time block out that time. Block out the time to do the follow-ups. Block out the time to work on the projects. Now, a lot of people say, hey, listen, I've got fires that happen all the time. I've got things that pop up that, in the middle of my time block that need to be handled ASAP. And to that, man, I would just say, yeah, you do. And everyone has that's going to happen, especially in the construction industry as you're finishing out projects. But at the end of the day, you got to handle those projects, and hopefully you have a good team that's backing you up. I know we have a great team. Our sales team has a great team of sales support folks who we can lean on and make sure that we're getting projects handled accordingly. And if the salesperson needs to jump in and handle something, they do. But just get right back to that time block as soon as you can get that handled. It's easier said than done. I get that. I've been there. Again, it's just the construction industry. It's trying to avoid that project only mindset. Something that a lot of folks can get tied up in. Especially when you're trying to handle projects for clients. But at the end of the day, if you can time block, set aside 30 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, every single day for prospecting, you're just going to see dividends as you go into the next year, in this case 2025. But I just want to say too, when it comes to prospecting, end of the year stuff, the worst thing that's going to happen is if somebody doesn't have something and you end up getting an opportunity for 2025. Best case scenario that happens is you get a project for 2024 that you can deliver on them, deliver for them and get it done quickly, and then you get the shot at all the 2025 work. So at the end of the day, it's a good scenario either way, and you just got to make sure you do it. At the end of the day, man, that's it. A lot of the stuff is just doing. Everything I'm telling you right now is just a reminder. You guys know what you need to do from a sales standpoint. If you've been a salesperson for any amount of time, you know that it's not entirely an easy role, right? It's very simple, and at the end of the day, it's a lot of back and forth, especially in the construction industry. You're going a lot of back and forth of different tasks and whatnot. You're not just bringing in clients and hand them off to people. You're managing projects. You're ensuring that clients are being taken care of exceptionally, and you just got to time block and ensure that you're focusing on the right things to focus on. Overall, man, it's a lot this time of the year for salespeople. It really is. Time management, follow-ups, nurturing relationships. I would say for salespeople, as you go into these winter months, get out, meet with your clients, put a face to the name. Even some prospects, some people that you've been talking to. Get out, grab lunch, grab dinner, take them out golfing if it's a warmer climate that they live in. It is something that I have really, really found is super impactful. Especially in our industry, we're national asphalt and concrete. A lot of our competitors, a lot of other folks who do similar things to what we do, maybe in different trades and whatnot, they don't actually get out and meet with their clients, and it blows my mind every time that that I hear that clients haven't been visited. I would say just it is super important. Every single relationship that I've built, every single relationship that our sales team has built, that has been really, really solid, rooted relationship. We have probably gone out and seen them a handful of times, if not numerous times, just over the years. You don't have to do anything over the top. Just go out and visit them. It is so, so important. But, man, this time of the year, again, it's tough. There's a lot of things getting thrown at you. Time block, follow-ups, prospecting. The biggest thing I want to communicate to you guys is it's a lot, but you got to just make sure you sit down, grind it out, and at the end of the day, make sure you block out the time to do the tasks that move the ball forward. Oftentimes that is not managing projects. While that is important to a construction sales role, that is not the task that moves the ball forward. So figure out what that is for you. At the start of this past year, I told myself, I said, what are the one or two things that I needed to do in order to really move the ball forward here at the Pavement Group in my role and for us? And the first thing that came to mind was, well, man, I need strategic partnerships. Like, I need people who I can refer business to and who can refer business back to us. And if I can continue to develop those are really what speed along a lot of growth. Second thing for me was I need to invest a lot of time into my team. And so those are the two things. While I've done a lot of other things throughout this year, those are the two things that I've found that have really, really, really catapulted what we've done. We've got a lot of things moving, really high-level conversations, high-level relationships that are being developed. And so, look at your same role. What are the one or two things as you go from here to the end of the year? So from November to the end of the year, what are the one or two things that you should be doing that are really, really going to move the ball forward? And again, you're going to have more than just those one or two things. But if you were only limited to one or two things, like what would that actually be? And truly think about it. Take a minute and think about it. Write those things down and do them, and push the ball forward. So yeah, listen, guys. Overall, it's a lot this time of the year, and it's a big opportunity this time of the year too to continue to push forward and continue to deliver on what clients are asking for. We find that we bring in a lot of opportunities, a lot of new clients this time of the year, and so I would encourage you to do the same. It's a good time of the year where in our industry, if another contractor has dropped the ball, we can often be there to pick it up, and so would recommend to continue to prospect, find those opportunities, and that's going to take you really into 2025 and whatever year you're going into. So appreciate you guys tuning in to yet another episode of Sell the Truth. I hope this was helpful. I know this is kind of a quick one with a handful of actionable items, but really something that was just kind of on my mind. My sales team and I have been talking about all of these things over the last handful of months, and now it's at the end of the day, it's really crunch time. So appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.